Actually, it's really, really honored to be here, and I congratulate Maria and your team to really get this great conference in place and so many attendees this year. So that's excellent. Uh, I didn't actually. I was thinking about the joke or something. How should I start this? When the colleagues started with the tie type of a thinking, but then I thought that okay, in Finland we do it in a way that when there's important things happening, we'll send the women on place. So maybe that will open my presentation. So again, saying that beautiful weather and unfortunately I wasn't able to participate last night at your party, but I was hearing it. So very nice music and all that. Okay, it's been so many times to say that we need to fight against the global warming. And we at Gasum, we see that the gas is really a crucial part of this game. We want to build the bridge towards a carbon neutral society, no doubt about that. And when we think about gas replacing more pollutable fuels, and then in the end, the natural gas will be replaced by biomethane, that's really a game changer in this let's say, in the fight against the global warming. So Gasum is extremely committed to bring always cleaner energy to our clients. But I'm sure there are many of you who doesn't know what is Gasum, so very briefly something about the company I'm presenting here. Okay. Okay. Good. Gasum is our revenues are a little bit less than 1.2 billion euro. We are Finnish state-owned company, and our origins is in Finland. But today we are a Nordic energy company. We are the main producer and provider of LNG in the Nordics, and we are also the biggest biogas producer and provider in Nordics. So we have made let's say, a big shift in the organization within the last 5 years, really being an energy company. And we are also in a power market, being the second largest power seller in Finland. What does it mean? It means that becoming an energy company and becoming a kind of like a real gas company, you start, of course, to invest into the other countries as well. So this is our map where we are located today. We have 15 biogas facilities. We have LNG terminals in Sweden, in Norway, and in Finland. And we have a liquefaction facility in Risavika, Norway as well. So very much a Nordic energy company. Why Nordics? Why it is such a important? Of course, looking at the national level targets for CO2 emissions reductions and all that, Nordics has really taken an initiatives and wants to make the change in our emissions and become really a carbon neutral societies. And look at the potential in this 3 countries. It's a huge. When we, for example, take the maritime sector and we think about the means, how can we really fulfill the IMO's goal for 50% reduction on greenhouse gas emission by 2050? The answer is, of course, LNG. And looking at only the Baltic Sea area, what is the magnitude of the possibilities for all of us, not only for Gasum, but everybody operating in this market? We know that the HDV sector is the one that has to do something in order to lower the emissions. we need to take care of also the emissions outside the emission trading scheme. And then it's of course the logistics coming in place. And really thinking about the industrial size. We talked about the LPG, we talked about the bio LPG, but we'll talk also about the natural gas replacing oil-based products in industrial use. So big market overall for all of us. And I'm happy to hear, we heard the Siemens story about power generation and all that. But when it comes to the gas and when it comes to this, our goal to reduce emissions in globally and in Nordics, I would say that we are lucky ones. We have the technology in place. And we have to fight against this target immediately every single day. We need to take all those technologies in use, what is available there out there in the market. And gas is already available in the Nordics. Gas technology is available. We have Wärtsilä, we have Volvo trucks, we have Iveco, Scania bringing, HDVs that are fueled by LNG, and then in later stages LPG. And we have the gas turbines for vessels and maritime sector as well. So the technology exists here, and we need to just take the actions in order to start fighting against the most important thing we have at the moment in our hand is the global warming. Yes, we are very committed. Gasum is really, really committed towards, bringing the cleaner energy for our customers. And like I said, that the LNG is a necessity. It creates the way for biomethane to come into the market as well. But in order to create the market, in order to fulfill the reduction targets already with the natural gas, we need LNG in the market. And I would say that why don't we take the 20% decrease in CO2 emissions already comparing to the diesel when it comes to the HDV sector as an example. So the technology is here. We need to get the reduction in place and fulfill the route towards a cleaner carbon neutral society with biomethane in the later stages, adding the volumes, adding the production capacity in the Nordics. But we are taking our initiatives. We are building infrastructure. We have already in Sweden the Lysekil LNG terminal. We bought a company here in 2017, which is the largest biogas producer in Sweden. And we have committed ourselves to build up a filling station network for HDVs, not only in Sweden, but in the Nordics. Our commitment is now within a couple of years to build 50 filling stations, and I would think that at least 50% of those stations will be located in Sweden. So our aim is to really help and serve all our customers who has these logistical chains to be able to fill their heavy-duty vehicles all the way from Skåne up to Kiruna. So very committed on that. But simultaneously, we are also building up our biogas capacity. Like I said, that is a necessity. We cannot stop our way only by thinking about the natural gas, but we need to take, also the biogas in place. Here is some pictures about our Coralius, our bunkering vessel. She has actually done already 100 bunkering operations in the Baltic Sea area. And there's a Lysekil terminal. My slides are not following my speech, so sorry about that. But this is the filling station network that we are committed to build into this market. And as you see, they are covering all main routes for all transportation companies and logistic companies in the Nordics. But like I say, that it has been a chicken and an egg type of a dilemma earlier, that we as a gas company, we are constantly saying to Volvo Trucks and the others that, we will build the infrastructure if you will bring lorries and tractors into the market. But we decided that this chicken and egg dilemma has to now disappear, that we will commit, we will do the infrastructure, and then I'm more than sure that the others will follow, not only the OEMs, but also the competition will come. And from the market development point of view, that's also extremely important. And then our first filling station will be in operation in Västerås in next week. So this is a reality. I'm not only saying that, on PowerPoint presentation, it's easy to pick up the plates and say that, okay, about 50 filling station and then talk about those that may be there and here and everywhere. But this is actually happening already. Our aim is to build up at least 12 filling stations in this year already in Sweden. So very committed for HVD, for heavy duty vehicle sector as well. But the biogas, I'm sure everybody wants me to talk about the biogas here as well, not only the LNG, but again saying LNG is needed in order to create the market, to take the technology, what is available already, into our hands and start using gas in those sectors where we have not been using it earlier. The Nordic market, by the way, is so much different than the European market, as we all know, when it comes to the gas. And the growth for gas happens in other sectors than in power generation in Nordics. That's in industrial use, that's at sea, on land type of activities. But then biogas, we all know that Sweden is one of the forerunners when it comes to the biogas, and that's the reason why we want to be here as well. The production of the biogas is something that we don't know, none of us knows yet what is actually the overall potential for that. But our estimation, what we have done in the Nordic, is that with the feedstock available, so the kind of like biodegradable waste and sewage sludge and those that are outside the HVO sector feedstock, we could produce something like 70 terawatt hours worth of biogas in the Nordics. When it comes to the volume wise, that okay, how much from the traffic sector actually can be fueled by biogas, and then we'll come to the number which is almost 40%. So the biogas is a significant fuel in the future. But we need to get the capacity and the volume up, and we need to invest. Not only us, but everybody else needs to invest as well into the production and find, relevant means how we actually can create the circular economy. By the way, which the biogas, biomethane is really the only fuel that can really say that we are, creating a 100% circular economy. Because all the feedstock, biodegradable waste, manure, whatever you are using in your production, the end outcome is the digested. So it's full of nutrients, it's full of fertilizer type of things that can be used and brought back into the nature. And the sea and the carbon has already been once in the circle. So it's a very crucial part when we talk about the circular economy, when we think about to fulfill all these European Commission targets when it comes to these red directives and others. And I would say that the capacity increase is a necessity. We need to create the market first with the natural gas for all gas companies to be able to really invest in biogas. But yes, we are doing that as well. We are not only investing, upgrading our present facilities here in Sweden, which is of course a constant thing. It has been our aim here all the time, but we are also, of course, doing greenfield investments here as well. And one of the ones that we are very proud is the new Möllä. I learned to pronounce it right. It's not new Molla, like we in Finland say, but it's new Möllä. And this is one example, and it's a great example about the circularity, it's the circular economy in overall. That you take the wastewater, and then you get a biogas out of the wastewater, and you will bring clean water back to the facility. Who cares about, is there somebody interested about the wastewater as such? Is it out from some of the, own production, or are we fighting against some alternative use when it's a wastewater? I doubt. So this is the beauty of biogas, that you actually can use different feedstocks, and you can create a economy that's financially viable for biogas producer and also for our customers. This will be the largest biogas facility that actually liquefies. So we have a LBG available in New Möllä, and that's about 75 to 85 gigawatt hours annually. And with this amount we can fuel 100 to 200 HDVs annually. So it is a start. It's a good start, but I would say that these are more to come, this type of investments as well. I assume that this is why we all are here. So we all believe in gas, and I would say that the cleaner energy, when we talk about gas and when we are talking about all the possibilities that we are able to give to our customers with the gas, it's a really motivating. And this is a really good time for gas. We need to take the initiatives. We need to play, together, all of us, all the players around, in order to increase the demand, in order to increase our customer attention, and everything boils down that there is a demand in the market. But I think the customers and consumers are forcing our clients, Stora Enso, like we have in HDV sector already, El Gigante, did I pronounce that right? Yes, and Lidl and those type of customers who have already taken the initiatives. Their customers are demanding lower CO2 emission on the transportations that they are providing. And we are the ones to really answer for that. So great future for all gas companies, believe me or not.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And a very good pronouncing of Nymölla. I'm really impressed. Nordic gas ecosystem, that was also a good name, I think. But when I looked at the map, I couldn't see that you are in Denmark, not yet. Or
Yeah, that for all my Danish colleagues and everybody, sorry about only creating a Nordic with Sweden, Finland, and Norway. We have not forgotten Denmark, but at the moment when we are looking our investment portfolio, Denmark is not right now, it will be, but not right now in the spot of our investment scheme. And in a way that when we define our geographical footprint, we'll always not only think about that where we operate, but where our investments are. But the Gasum is, we are now heavily involved in the trading activities as well, and we will not stop in the Nordics. We will go to Denmark, we will go to Europe, we will go to Baltics, because we see such a great growth opportunities in all of these regions.
just a question of time then?
It's just a question of time, and I guess that I have so many great colleagues here today as well with me, and we are doing utmost in order to grow the company, but we only have 24 hours, all of us in one day, even though I got once a calendar where, in my previous work, I got the calendar where there was 8 days in the week, and it says that Saturday, Sunday, someday. So it was kind of like a hope day. But we'll hope that we will have the one additional day to really grab the market.
That seems good. That seems good.
Yeah.
One of your first slides here, you are today selling around 25 terawatt-hour natural gas, around 6 terawatt-hour LNG, and 0.5 terawatt biogas. What is the goal, and when is the goal for the future? Do you think you can get 100% biogas in the future?
Of course, it depends on the time horizon. But like we say that there are so many sectors, maritime, HDV sectors, that they are growing so fast. And natural gas we have already available. And like I say that it is it's a bridge fuel, the natural gas, but it will stay long there. And then gradually taking the biomethane and adding that, of course, into that chain. And the beauty of the infrastructure, gas infrastructure, is always that the infrastructure doesn't care whether it's a biomethane or is it natural gas. So you can use the same infrastructure, of course. But the biogas, it has to be produced. So it means lots of investments in a way. And we need to first build up the market, and I think everybody kind of like agrees with me that in order to build up the market, you need the LNG, you need the natural gas. And then you start adding gradually. And we do at most in order to increase the volumes on biogas. But of course the other volumes are increasing as well.
As well, yes. That's good. Okay. Thank you once again. And we also have a little diploma for the bees. Maybe some of these bees in the north of Sweden can go over to Finland.
All the way to Helsinki.
So that could be very good.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.